says I am live here. I am excited to be with you guys today. Happy Valentine's Day. As you can see, I am at a little bit of a different setup. I had a friend help construct all of this so that I can be here with you today and maybe play a few of my love songs. So, I'm going to check out the live chat really quick here. Oh, it's playing on my phone. Okay. Hey, David D, how's it going? Sorry if I'm echoing a little bit. Crazy how bad they're shadow banning you. They don't want this message going live. The last thing they want is for you to actually inspire hope in the human population. Over half an hour, not a single person notified. Oh, really? Wow. Yeah, I wasn't checking too much on what was going on there, but not really surprising. They may completely restrict this live. They have ability to because it's their platform, and the Queen hasn't been the nicest to those inverts that own this and every other platform. So what can she realistically expect? True. That is true. But it's a hard position to be in because when you know that these entities are basically choosing to come into this world, like I've said it 100 times before about Westworld, right? Where you can choose a white hat or a black hat depending on if you're going to be a good guy or a bad guy in this reality. And these inverts choose the black hat, and often it's fame, fortune, all of these benefits that Satan offers to them that they do it, and they're corrupting humanity. So there's my empathy stops at a certain point. But at the same time, I do feel bad for their souls because to be an invert, you've really, really lost your way. And it's sad at the end of the day. So there's a kind of like this trying to balance your anger at these people at these souls for what they did. And then also knowing that they're really lost and they've been lied to and deceived just as much as the average human, and if not more, right? Because they've been led to believe that this lifestyle that they're living, some of them actually are in the delusion a lot, right? Some more than others. Some are more aware than others of what they're doing and the fact that the master that they're serving doesn't actually care about them in the end. So anyways, hey Kyle, how's it going? Kyle says, beautiful dress. Oh, thank you. I actually got this for that Reading Chess Club tournament that I had a few years back. It's been a while since I've done any chess tournaments, but I've really been focused on the Shasta vegan community and trying to make an actual community on the ground and get a nonprofit started for all of that, and then do different forms of activism through that. Whether it's going to the farmers markets that are coming up in the proper season. I would love to have get one of these canopy things made with the Shasta community on it, and then maybe have this really cool setup, and then not only have free samples to give people, but also maybe playing some of the harder footage. Even if it's just for adults that might, I don't want to traumatize children with them seeing where their food choices come from, but there's some pretty powerful videos that you can find online of people actually being exposed to what happens in slaughterhouses and all this stuff, and they are just really horrified. So it'd be nice to have some sort of videos and stuff to set up so that we can raise awareness in that way as well. But yeah, anyways, I got this dress for a Valentine's Day thing, so I thought it fitting to wear it for today. I actually have a karaoke jam session night planned tonight. We've been doing these on Friday nights, which was inspired by a few years back. I went to Reno and they had this really cool setup where all of the stage, if you will, was set up for instruments and ready to play. So it's when it's your turn, you could either sing a karaoke song or you could grab your instrument and go up and play. You could have different groups of people playing in bands together and just have this really awesome flow of music. And so I really would love to bring that to Shasta. And that is kind of what the efforts of this karaoke night are for. So we're having that tonight. And I'll have to maybe take a video scanning around the room because tomorrow is the vegan Valentine's Day ice cream social and dessert party thing. So I have right on the wall here, I have some really fun vegan decorations. I made little hearts and wrote work messages on them and stuff. I got some window clings over there on there. I got like just some fun stuff set up, and I'll have to send you guys, like, I'll have to make a video or something of all of the stuff you can see behind me too. So cool. Yeah, this one says free hugs. Step right up. But I really love decorating, and like if you go to the Dollar Tree, you can find all of these things for like $1, and I don't know, they might be like junky, but they're kind of cute looking. Like they're not the best quality, but they make a cute decoration, and I'm excited to celebrate love for humanity, which some of us can struggle with a lot, especially after going vegan. But also like the love for the vegan community and my fellow animals. So I'm excited about that. And actually, on the way here today, I don't even remember what was said, but Valentine's Day came up instead of Valentine's Day. In the Golden Age, we can make it a celebration of cows, especially because of the fact that Valentine's Day, the origins are questionable, right? Like all of these holidays that we're given are, you know, not quite saint. Someone isn't actually probably a saint, whatever. But the fact that we have done so much damage, like this holiday is so much like chocolate, 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 right? It's just so much more cow abuse. And so how awesome would it be to turn Valentine's Day into Valentine's Day and celebrate the cows? Like, I'm stoked about it. If you haven't already been able to tell, my passion is like #1 for cows. But I love the innocence, and I want to make a better world for them. And we're in this great time during history, her story, right? In the cycle of things where a lot of these old structures are being, you know, crushed down or taken down, and people are waking up to the fact that we've been lied to about so many things, you know, health, science, just every single topic that we could be deceived about. We've pretty much been deceived about that, and people are waking up and starting to question. So this is where we're taking our power back, and we can all start to focus on, you know, in unity, making a world together. I've said it 100 times too. There's only one chalkboard that is the mother, right? The world. And if everyone just goes and scribbles on it, it's going to be a train wreck. Those that are against us, those that chose the black hats that are working for the dark side, are very organized in their fight against us. And we need to be organized in our fight. And it's not necessarily against them, actually, because at the end of the day, we're all under the dome, and it's easier said than done, but like they're God's children too, the ones that he created, right? These souls. And there's only one world stage. So we have to figure out how we can make a better world with all of the species so that we're all happy in the end. And hopefully we don't have to go through too much chaos and turmoil to get there. But as you know, the powers that be definitely have their destruction agendas in play, whether it was, you know, the pandemic before, or famines, or other things that they have planned to collapse their own systems while they retain complete control, right? So it'll be interesting to see what happens as we go forward in the world. But on a positive note, you know, especially the younger generations are waking up to veganism, and they're going to be this powerful force for the animals. And unfortunately, there's a lot of other corruption that they're being exposed to, and confusion, sexual degeneracy and stuff. But on the hand of making a golden age, the thing that's actually required for that is for us to extend the freedom and right to live to the other species on this earth. We can't expect heaven on earth when we're, for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, candy bar snacks in between, you know, your Doritos, your all of these things that you eat constantly every day is coming from animal suffering. So you can't expect to you yourself be having the time of your life and not having any worries and not being taxed and all of this stuff when you're doing those things to others. So it's exciting that people are waking up. And what I was saying is, you know, a lot of the younger generation are, and it's only going to take half of humanity to make the switch, right? we earned this place that we're in karmically, and we can change that position by just getting the majority to stop doing evil. Obviously, the hope is for way more than the majority, but right now we're just trying to get to the finish line, right? So I did want to talk a little bit about the golden age today as well, but let me check the live chat just to see, just to take a break from my ranting. It's not even Sunday and I'm preaching, guys. Where's my phone turned? Okay. South African boys, how's it going? Yet another lonely Valentine's Day for him. Aw, well, I'm sorry to hear that, but at the same time, being single isn't always bad, especially when we have time to focus on ourselves and become the best versions of ourselves possible. Because so many times people are getting into relationships and, first of all, they don't even know what way is up. So your whole outlook on life, when you believe that the world's a giant spinning ball, when you think that you're like evolved pond scum, when you have a lot of these beliefs that the world tries to give you, and you get into a relationship with that, once you start to wake up, that relationship, unless you guys wake up at the same time and you're working together through it, and you're both willing and ready, that relationship is going to fall apart. And I know I'm not the only divorced person here, because of just the truth of our reality and indifferences. I don't want to teach my kids that the earth is flat. I'm not going to teach my kids, because there's like all of these different topics that you can have points of contention with. So I actually, don't promote, being in a relationship at this point in time, because there's a war going on around us. And it's the sooner that we get out of this war, the sooner that we can focus on love and romance and all those other things that kind of keep us from doing what we're supposed to do here, right? So, although I am celebrating love today and all this fun stuff, I still do stand on that. There's a pretty bird outside, so. Work on yourself while you're waiting for your loved one. David, he says, the inverts choose the black hat for fame and money and fortune for sure. The inverts are all celebrities and billionaires in this reality. Satan has delivered, at least to date. My Valentine's Day is this. Karaoke jam session sounds cool. Must have spent a pretty penny at the Dollar Tree getting all this stuff. Yeah, I did. I tend to go a little bit crazy when I go there, especially because it's just so inexpensive for all the things. And yeah. The golden age is for all species, for humans and cows and all species with a soul. Yes, there's only one world we can create, where all God's children need to work together to make a real golden age. Exactly. And David also mentions that the younger generations are much more open to veganism than the older generations, and time moves in our favor. Yeah, the average human doesn't even live to 100 years old these days, and look at all of the stuff that's going on, especially the ones that have been jabbed. And I want to make sure I don't get in trouble for medical misinformation, but a lot of these diseases and stuff, and then the 5G and all these other things that are kind of all trying to shorten our lifespan and essentially kill us off. So we'll see who survives, right? The ones that survive are going to be the ones that get to rebuild the future. And so that's where we get to come in, right? So hopefully you guys are prepared and, having not only your gold and stuff, tangible things that you can trade, but having food and like water supplies. And if you're in the city, having a bug out bag and a plan of action, in case any things do happen, because there's been a lot of rumors. Obviously, rumors of wars and all that are constant. Well, not constant, obviously, but there's so much on the news that wants to try to make us afraid of all this stuff. And them, I don't know. They're always just trying to incite wars too, between countries, between races, between the sexes. It's just endless of their attacks towards us. So anyways, just be prepared for whatever can happen. So I wish my phone would turn the other way. Kyle says the blue roses are a nice touch. Thank you. Over there on the fireplace thing, I'll have to post a picture. There's some red, white, and pink ones, like a strand. These are the original ones that I ordered, but the space here is about the Violet Temple, which is obviously not the Order of the Blue Rose, which is what I connect with. I've read the story before of Christ and Miriam and how he gave her this blue rose. And I actually got a blue rose tattoo on my foot before I even knew any of that and my connection to the Essenes and any of that stuff. So it's pretty cool to to kind of look back on things in life and see how different things, like, I don't know, tie together, and our soul kind of, I don't know, just some parts where our soul's kind of like shining through and even trying to like wake us up, or I guess I'm thinking of when you're first born, right? There's all of these agendas, whether it's fluoride, put an eye gunk in you, starting to jab you as soon as possible. There's all of these agendas in place to kind of separate us from our true self, our soul, and our soul's desires, so that we have this fake ego, this fake persona, essentially, that's largely just programmed by the matrix and our families and our pastors, our teachers, whatever. And then it's like your soul is constantly along the way trying to like, hey, wake up, wake up. I remember seeing things about flat earth in like maybe as early as middle school. And it's like, wow, I wish I could kind of go back and redo this life again and like wake up earlier and see if I, and actually looked into it and stuff. But anyways, pretty cool. David says, how can you commit to a relationship when you don't know the truth about our flat earth, satanic, invert controlled reality? Yep. And there's also so much more in that as well, like with how to raise children and just even being in relationships and like the advice that we're given by like relationship counselors and stuff. There's just, relationships are hard. So yeah. Katie says, endless warmongering. Yes, they try to get men and women to hate each other. Your soul is constantly trying to wake you up to reality. Exactly. So, I was thinking about maybe playing a song for you guys today. Maybe more. My phone won't turn the other way. Since it's Valentine's Day. We'll see. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you. Even as I wander, I'm keeping you in sight. You're a candle in the window on a cold, dark winter's night. I'm getting closer than I ever thought I might. And I can't fight this feeling anymore. I've forgotten what I started fighting for. It's time to bring this ship into the shore and throw away the yours forever. And I can't fight this feeling anymore. I've forgotten what I started fighting for. And if I have to crawl upon the floor, come crashing through your door, baby, I can't fight I really like to take other people's songs and mash them together. So that's kind of my a lot of the songs that I play are that. So hopefully that sounded okay coming through the speakers. Let's see. Mike the Mechanic, how's it going? Oh my God, I had no idea you played the piano. I actually started in my music career playing piano. My parents forced like all of us to start with the piano. And I'm definitely like, I have a long way to go with my skills. But I resented them at first, and now I love piano. So, yeah. Anyways, greetings from Ukraine. Hey, how's it going? David E says, really great job. Oh, hey, Raven, how's it going? Raven says, better than Elvis, UB40, and Rio Speedwagon. Aw, thank you. I apologize for not getting back to you when I was down south. I ended up leaving like relatively soon after that live stream, and it was kind of a little bit chaotic. The people that I was trying to volunteer with wouldn't, like, I don't know, they were just being kind of, I don't know if coy is not the right word, but just I don't know what the right word is. They just wouldn't tell me like what was going on essentially. And so I don't know, that kind of ruined my plans to some extent too, because I was so excited to be able to volunteer and do all that kind of stuff. So anyways, I apologize for not getting back to you when I was down there. Next time that I'm in your area, I'll reach out to you. Okay. Mike says, now I really want to karaoke with you. Aw. Well, you come to Mount Shasta on Friday nights. We've got karaoke going on. I actually put out some of the other songs on karaoke on on social media as well. So if you guys are interested in that, Mount Shasta karaoke. So I was thinking about playing another song. Not sure why my phone is tilted the wrong way. It's kind of annoying. Do any of you guys have any fun plans for Valentine's Day? David, he says she is a real girl, not an invert. Yes. I'm not sure if you can see my hips here, but I have showed them off plenty of times. I haven't for a while, but they're still there. You can't really see with the dress, but maybe later. Kyle says, beautiful rendition. Aw, thank you. David says, the volunteer leaders mess you around. Probably inverts. Well, yeah. Well, let's just hope for the best and hope that we can make something work out, because what they've done is actually really cool. If you go to plantbasedtreaty.com, they have not only great information that you yourself could take and potentially go to like the cafes and restaurants in your town and show them this, how it's more environmentally friendly to be vegan, and obviously more friendly to the animals. I'm sure that they have resources for where you can source all these things and substitutions as well. But places like West Hollywood, Hoboken, New Jersey, like there's a handful of cities that have already signed the plant-based treaty. And it's really cool because like all of their, like anytime the government has a council meeting or whatever that they provide food for, it's just by default vegan. And that is so cool. Yeah, whether you're concerned about the environment or animals or even your own self, veganism is the only real option, because, well, you're not hurting animals, right? So there's just so many different factors that you can look into, and it's like plant-based is the best. Plant-based is the best. And so, yeah. Anyways. Raven says, all good. Next time you're in SoCal. Yeah, exactly. I'd love to meet up with you, and anybody that is wanting to meet me is always free to come to any of my events especially on Mount Shasta under the full moon. I would encourage people to come during the summer when it's really warm. And you can go on Mount Shasta. You can actually camp there for free, and going up there under the full moon, it's just like really beautiful because you're above pretty much all the trees, and it's just really clear. You can see out onto these over the forest and mountains in the distance, and like just the whole night sky is wide open above you, and it's just beautiful. So yeah, and we always have a good time, a giant fire. People usually bring drums, but my favorite times are when when it's quieter. When they don't, oops, I just offended the whole town. But I would rather sit and be able to talk with people and talk about flat Earth and pull out our, like, I got a Nikon P900. You guys remember that when it was Nikon P900 was all the rage because every flat earther was like, this proves that that's flat. I got that. So I'll bring it on the mountain and you can come and see what the stars look like. Like, let's have some serious discussions and community building on Mount Shasta. So I get excited about things. So Mike the Mechanic says, I'm glad I stopped by to see you, but I have to get back to working on a car. So glad to see you. Well, I might play some more songs, so feel free to circle back later and listen to the live stream. But thanks for stopping by, and hope you have fun working on your cars. I know you will. So I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, Mike works on really nice cars that are in movies and stuff. So that's pretty cool. I'm not really the biggest car person. I really like fast cars though, but if you want to sit around and talk about cars, it's probably not going to be me. Sorry to burst everyone's bubble. 1953 Ford Customize, converting to a Chevy 350 and electric steering. Oh, interesting. New gas and making a new wiring harness. Ooh, the nerds are coming out. Just kidding. But yeah. Hopefully that goes well. I'll use classic cars in TVs and movies. Perfect. Sweet. All right. David D says, let's hear more songs. All right, Mike. We'll sing you out of the live stream. Get me a drink, I'll get drunk off one sip just so I can adore you. I want the entire street out of town just so I can be alone with you. Now go when you're ready, my hand's getting heavy, pressed against your arm, just to adore you. I adore you. Keep on falling for you, time after time, time after time. I'll make you mine, time after time after time. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me, time after time. If you fall, I will catch you, I'll be waiting, time after time. You say go slow, I fall behind. The second hand unwinds. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me, time after time. If you fall, I will catch you, I will be waiting, time after time. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me, time after time. If you fall, I will catch you, I will be waiting, time after time, time after time. I'll make you mine, time after time. Bonus points for whoever says what the songs are that gets mashed up, but you can't cheat. Mike says, LOL, Carner, guilty, yes. Hey, Osiris, how's it going? Happy Lupercalia Day. Well, for me, it's Valentine's Day, but thank you. I understand your connection and how all these holidays have other pagan origins and meanings and all sorts of twisted up, you know, reasons for the seasons, right? Alexander says, beautiful, my queen. Aw, thanks. I appreciate that. It would be nice to have a little bit more, piano filling it out and even some maybe guitar and drums and stuff in the future. But for now, this is working pretty decently. So thanks. Thanks for tuning in. Raven says, I'll have to get my P900 fixed in time for Shasta summer nights. Have to run to get some vegan. Oh, yum. Well, have a bite for me. Thanks. David says, really wonderful job. Great singing. Thank you. Kyle says, time to record your own album. Aw, I appreciate that. I would love to record some of my own stuff, but I really want to get to writing my own stuff, and that's a lot easier said than done. David D says, let's hear more. Woohoo! Let me see what else I got over here in my my books. Right. You know, like anything I know or I've known, like anything I know or I've known. You're not like anything I know or I've known, like anything I know or I've known. You scare me, but I'm not afraid of it. You make me nervous, but I wanna sing in it. I tend to complicate and find fancy ways to say I just want more of you. Probably love you, but it freaks me out saying it. This feels too different to have the same name for it. I tend to complicate and find fancy ways to say I just want more of you. I just want more of you. And I'd climb every mountain, swim every ocean, just to be with you, fix what I've broken. Oh, 'cause I need you to see that you are the reason. You are the reason. And I climb every mountain, swim every ocean, just to be with you, fix what I've broken. Oh, 'cause I need you to see that you are the reason. Oh. Thanks, David D, who says, you do an amazing job with those high notes. Aw, another great song. We just want more of you. Aw, thanks. I'm blushing. Kyle says, sing my poem. Well, I'd have to practice that first, but Kyle sent me a link with some of the poem, well, specifically one, but he sent me other ones too, where you can use AI to write your own music. You can give them your own poem and then tell them like male vocals, acoustic, metal, fast, slow, whatever. You can give it all these parameters and it'll make that into music for you. So it's pretty cool to see all of those things happen. But at the same time is also we need some real music. So you should get your lyrics into the hands of some real humans that can make the music happen so that your soul doesn't get, because you put, your heart and soul into a poem and then you kind of give it to AI, and then AI doesn't have that same, I don't know. So it'll be interesting to see how more AI music kind of infiltrates the world of music, and feeling like the difference between something that actually like has heart and soul of like a real soul behind it, versus AI. But obviously Kyle's stuff has a heart and soul behind it because it came from him. So yeah. David E says we need real human music. Exactly. And that's what I've been talking about for a few years, right? My desire, especially for real human male and female music. So, yeah. This is my new guitar. Her name is Applesauce, and that came from the fact that it says applause here, and a round of applause or a round of applesauce just as this, I don't know, it's just stupid, but this is her. So don't judge her for her name. She couldn't help it. It wasn't her choice. In the moonlight, your face glows like a thousand diamonds, I suppose. Your hair flows like ocean breeze. Not a million fights could make me hate you. You're invincible. Yeah, it's true. It's in your eyes where I find peace. Is it broken? Can we work it out? Let's light up the town, scream out loud. Is it broken? Can we work it out? I can see in your eyes, you're ready to break. Don't look away. And I stumble and fall, still learning to love, starting to crawl. Say something, I'm giving up on you. Sorry that I couldn't get to you. Anywhere I found you. Say something, I'm giving up on you. And I swallow my pride. You're the one that I love. We're saying goodbye. Say something, I'm giving up on you. Sorry that I couldn't get to you. some sourness in there. Thanks. Kyle says, please practice my poem then. Aw, that's sweet. Maybe we'll see how. I don't know if I can pick up all of the notes and everything that the AI does, but yeah. David, he says, what we need during the golden age is more real human music. I totally agree. So yeah. Thanks for being here with me today, guys. I don't know what you got going on for Valentine's Day, but it is kind of the middle of the day. So I appreciate you taking some time to be here. And yeah. Dave says, clap, clap. Thanks. That's funny. All right. Where's my other song? Okay. I just started putting this one together. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. The last one was a little bit. I apologize for the sour notes. Do, 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 do. Okay. Try to imagine your reaction. It didn't scare me when the earthquake happened, but it really got me thinking. The night we went out drinking, stumbled in the house and didn't make it past the kitchen. Oh, it's been a year now. I think I figured out how to let you go without it ripping my heart out. And I know we weren't down for forever, and it's fine. I know you know we weren't made for each other, and it's fine. But if the world was ending, you'd come over, right? You'd come over and you'd stay the night. Would you love me for the hell of it? All my fears would be irrelevant. If the world was ending, you'd come over, right? Sky'd be falling while I'd hold you tight. No, there wouldn't be a reason why we would even have to say goodbye. If the world was ending, you'd come over, right? Right. If the world was ending, you'd come over, right? Right. If the world was ending, I'd wanna be next to you. If the party was over and our time on earth was through, I'd wanna hold you just for a while and die with a smile. If the world was ending, I'd wanna be next to you. You get the gist. Cool songs, love them, mix them together. The finished product will be better. But I just wanted to share that with you guys because that's one that I really like to sing these days. So cool. David says, sounds great. Oh, David says, sounds really good. Thanks, Dave. I appreciate that. All the Daves in the chat, say hello. And how about that? Seems like there's a lot of Davids in my life. Like, I have a normal amount, but that's okay. Anyways, I don't know that I have any other songs for you guys today, but I did want to maybe wrap up by talking a little bit more about the Golden Age, and if you guys had any questions, maybe answering those. But essentially, I think there's a lot of good system, like in general, good systems that we can build upon and make better, but also a lot of systems that need to be replaced and remodeled and revamped to be pro-human and pro-animals and pro the environment. So, you know, everything from the healthcare system to the educational system to even how like we work and what that kind of looks like. A lot of these things need to be changed to make it better, like I was saying. And I know that other people have really great ideas, and I would love to hear your great ideas, but also, share with you what my ideas are. Um, David is asking, how is the golden age different from today? Well, there's a lot of things. First of all, we're not being sprayed like bugs. So no chemtrails, right? And we're also not being crushed down on a human level. Everything is for free. Mother Earth provides food, water, shelter, all of these things, these resources that she provides for us free, right? But also providing that to the animals too, and giving them the space and the right to life that we have. Hey, Bill, how's it going? David D is asking, how is healthcare different? Okay, well, this is going to be a little bit a long topic, but anyways. So, for instance, natural healthcare and understanding the body and how what we eat plays the most important factor to it, right? If you're eating poison for 3 meals a day, 3 snacks in between, all of this evil stuff, you can't expect to be healthy when you're eating that. And even the doctors of today have like a handful of hours in nutrition, right? They're not trained by big pharma to even really consider the diet. And if they are, it's still within the standard American diet pyramid that they are given, that is unhealthy for us, right? The worst things that we could be eating. But understanding that the body is, a self-healing machine, it's a system that we shouldn't be taking things out of or putting things in. And even when it comes to like tumors and stuff, when they go in and they, do biopsies and they poke and prod and they actually allow that, am I going to get banned for medical misinformation? Basically, your body is collecting all of the evil into one little tumor and going in there and bursting it open and allowing all that stuff to go back into the body. I was just reading this morning about how colonoscopies, when they are going in there and removing polyps and stuff, that it does the same thing. It just allows whatever was in there to kind of rupture through the body and really cause unhealthy things. Colonoscopies, if you haven't heard my other videos, they're a joke on here. Like, sodomites run our world and they want you to be like them. And so enemas, colonoscopies, suppositories, all of these things, that's them programming you to try to degrade you. You are a god or a goddess in a human body, and once you start aligning yourself with those behaviors and acting like it, you're going to be a lot, happier in life in general. But all of these things, all these practices are designed to degrade us and cause disruptions to the body, taking things out, putting things in. Now you're a big pharma customer for life, right? So a lot of these things need to be changed in basic understanding of the human body and how it's a self-healing machine. No jabs, a lot of just pretty much everything in healthcare kind of really needs a reform. But I've talked before about how I get really excited about motherhood. And so like having these like pregnancy centers where women can go and you could have like different, like a bunch of floors, and there could be like suites on the floor for her. And if she has family, the kids, they'll move the whole family in if you want for like a temporary housing thing. But she would have, around the clock nurses and doctors, and like you could have like not weight room necessarily, but like a gym, and have different classes for pregnant women and classes for parenting, and all this stuff could go on, like really in trying to help make motherhood as, exciting and painless and stress-free as possible, giving the mothers the education that they need, and all that stuff. So I get really excited about that. And then when it comes to like raising kids and having the educational system, homeschooling would be what would be the most promoted. Obviously, if you can stay with your kid and you are the ones that raise them as 2 mature adults instead of having them raised in a group of their peers, I think not only like will their maturity be better, but you can completely you just make sure that that child is set up with a foundation, that they're not being influenced by other corrupted members of society. And that's kind of the sad place that we're in, whether it's their teachers. And a lot of conservative teachers have kind of been wheedled out over time. They're kind of, if you don't agree with the liberal agendas, you're not going to fit into the colleges and the whatever. So you not only have to worry about the corruption from those kinds of things, but also, little Tommy over there, his dad might have, taken him to Hooters and exposed him to porn and all this stuff. And then he's coming over to your child and then corrupting them, or the little girl. Like, there's just a lot of factors of corruption that personally I wouldn't want my child exposed to. So I'm definitely homeschooling. But in the golden age, there could be like education centers where you can go to school with your kid and like have like maybe a flow of, maybe you're really good at English, but you're not very good at math. So you want your kid to be in the math class, and just this, not a cookie cutter education, but also like having parents involved too, which would be really cool, because I would sign up for that. I'd be like, okay, if I could come in there and be with my kid and give them the attention that they still deserve, and be in that environment where someone that might be more knowledgeable than me in a topic will teach them, and that would be something that I would, be on board with. So I think it would be really cool to have that kind of thing. But essentially, none of our souls came here to all do the same thing. So this cookie cutter education really doesn't work for making our souls happy and building up humanity to be the best that it can be, especially when there's agendas with the, the educational system, the Department of Education, whatever, trying to deliberately dumb humanity down and make us useful idiot slaves, right? They don't want you to have the best, training ground that you could have to be the best thing that you could be, to achieve what your soul came here to do, especially like in the spiritual side too. If they had spiritual classes where they're teaching you how to meditate and how to harness other powers, like the Christ, when the Essene healing hand, they actually use different elements. They invoke the different elements on their hand and put them together, and it's something that you practice over time, and over time you can just activate your hands by thinking it. If kids are taught this, like especially kids, watch out, because this world's going to change dramatically overnight with the kids that are, I don't know, especially kids, the less corrupted that they are, if they haven't been fluoridated, if they haven't been stuffed full of animal products and vaccines and all of these things. Kids are really spiritually connected. Sorry, my light just went out, but that's okay. Let me just see the live chat for a second, and then I'll come back to David D's question about how is work different. Bill says, happy Valentine's Day. Hey, Bill, how's it going? Hopefully your Valentine's Day is going well. Stoic says, yo, hey. Did I get it right? This is a good setup. I like the change. Will this be ongoing? You sound good too, and the internet ain't choppy for once. LOL. Well, we'll see. I definitely like being in this space, and it's a community space, so I might be able to come as I want, but there's also a lot of drama here, so won't get into any of that. But I'm not sure what the future holds with this place. But I do like to have this quiet space, and ultimately that's what I want to have at my house. So sweet. Okay, back to David D's question about how is work different. Well, first of all, this whole you don't work, you don't eat thing, none of our souls came here to work 9 to 5s. I think that I was actually, what came to me on my way here was, I actually, like, a golden age for me would allow, like, I've worked at some fun jobs. Would I want to work at them 24, or like, would I want to go back to working for them on a regular basis? No, but would I like to pop in and do that job, like maybe for a shift or something? Like, so what I was thinking about on the way here was, like, at least for the Queen's Kitchen, it could be basically, I would rather have robots run everything, because they don't need breaks, they don't have feelings, they don't have like the same things as humans, they don't have the families, whatever. So the bulk of the work would be essentially carried out by AI, by robots. And then humans, if they wanted to come in and have a shift or something, we would allow for that, because obviously some people are still going to want human interaction. They're not going to want all robots. And there's other people that do. So yeah, I am personally trying to get some business things in order with AI. There's this race for, super intelligence right now and all this stuff. And obviously the powers that be are kind of controlling what's going on, especially in the media. But I think that there is a way that we can use robots and AI to make this world a paradise for all of us. Obviously, the powers that be, that's not their plan. They want to have this technocracy, this, robot run transhuman world where humans are all completely under control and happy about it, right? You're going to eat bugs and not have anything and love it or whatever. I don't even remember what the saying is. I'm just, you know what I mean? But yeah, AI and robots can definitely be used to help this so that we can go and have fun and raise our babies, and the robots can grow the food and flip the vegan cheeseburgers. So Davey says, what do we get during the golden age? Do we need to pay taxes, and do we own our homes? Well, what I was saying kind of earlier is about how Mother Earth provides all of these foods and shelter and everything for us for free. The basic human necessities should be free, but it's also a golden age of peace, prosperity, and the protection of innocence, right? So the prosperity part means that we don't just have what we need, we have more than enough. And realistically, there already is more than enough, but the resources are being not misused, right? They're not being I don't want to say appropriated properly, but I'm not sure that's the right word. For instance, animal agriculture, feeding cows, so many crops are being fed to these animals, and then those animals are fed to a very small amount of people, instead of feeding all of those crops to all of the humans, which would eliminate the hunger issues. Like, we wouldn't have starvation, we wouldn't have people going without. And obviously that's like, well, what are the cows going to eat? Well, first of all, we're not going to be raping them into existence. They're going to be either transformed into moved into sanctuaries, or ideally the whole world's going to become their sanctuary where they're allowed to roam free like we are. And then we have, we can have fences and stuff along the highways to make sure that the animals don't, make sure that they don't get hurt by crossing our paths, make sure that we don't get hurt by them crossing, and just make a world that is good for all of us so that we're all protected and free to live as our Creator intended, which is free and happy and doing what our souls came here to do, rather than it's a factory line, right? It's a cookie cutter stamp factory line of humans that are getting put into these molds and then sent out into these very specific work fields and stuff, instead of being allowed to do what their soul came here to do. If you came here to be an artist, that should be available for you to go and flourish in that department, rather than, you won't make any money, you won't be able to eat, you won't, like, all of these hurdles that are in your way and keeping you from that. And we can complain all we want about the status of where we're at, but look at the animals. For me, it's just like, I can't complain about anything, because there's cows out there that are being raped. They're being separated from their babies. Their babies are out in the snow by themselves, freezing. Like, I got nothing to complain about when I think about the other suffering on this earth. So that's just me, I guess. But as far as paying taxes, taxation is theft, and karmically we're paying taxes right now because humanity steals from the animals. So stop doing that. You don't have to pay taxes. And even now, we don't have to pay taxes, right? The government prints money. So this whole idea of like us needing to pay anything back to the people that print money, that's ridiculous in the first place. But I understand the system that's been put in place. So, and do we own our own homes? Yes, because it's, you can be a homeowner in this world, but you're still paying taxes. You probably got, more, well, whatever. All these other issues. In the golden age, part of being prosperous is actually owning the stuff that you own, right? Whereas they talk about that's a socialist thing. No, it's not, because the government can't come and just take it from you and redistribute it to the community, and you're not paying into the system. So yeah, it'll be a lot better than this. What about food, shelter, transportation during the golden age? kind of mentioned about food and shelter, but I've talked before about having like supermarkets that not only have like, you can, the whole roof can be a garden, but you could have a greenhouse attached to it, to where you have like an orchard in there with permaculture guilds and all this stuff. Like, how cool would it be to have your little shopping cart and you're just like walking through like a forest picking apples and like, or your little basket, whatever, because the cart won't work. You got roots on the ground and stuff. Anyways, how cool would that be to go and pick your own stuff? So there's just a lot of things, and terraforming and redistributing water, like in the desert. There should be, there's water underneath the earth already. And if we can tap into that and, make it on the surface, then the desert turns into this amazing, lush, like fruit forest of the most exotic plants that we can grow in this area. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see without the weather modification, like what the world's temperature actually is like, because they've been modifying this stuff for, longer than most of us have been alive. And so all the different problems and everything, it's like building up, because they're putting more poison in than the mother can, get out. And that's kind of the same as most of us. We're putting so much poison in. We're always in this feasting state that we never have that fasting state where the body can actually clean itself out. There's no balance between those two things. And it's just like, you can't expect to ever detox if you're constantly just putting in, putting in. Yeah. Anyways. As far as transportation goes, I think that's a basic human need as well. We should definitely be making cars that can tap into the free energy that's all around us, not just cars, but all of our electric devices and electronic, whatever. The free energy that's all around us, so that we're not, wasting oil and gas and all these other things. But yeah, people should have access to cars, and also cars that are built to last, not to break down like one little bump and something happens. But everything in this reality currently is made like that. What's it called? Planned obfuscation. I don't know if that's the right word, but where it's planned that everything, like, as soon as you get your phone, there's a ticking time bomb before that's, and it's getting shorter over time too. So it's like we get really a lot nicer devices, and then the viruses and all these other updates and stuff that they keep sending in, it's like just makes it worse. David says Golden Age Education Center is designed to actually teach children with their parent present or on board. Exactly. And if your parent is doing something else, then you could have it to where sorry, I just got a text from the girl that's in charge here. Anyways. Okay, Stoic says, how does a soul choose a body? Do we choose turmoil so that our soul can rise higher? Well, that's an interesting thing to think about, because I do believe that we choose like a lot of the things, our families and stuff too, but obviously the genetics is going to play a role in that as well. So it's like you could be potentially born to the same two souls in the next life, but your DNA, I mean, you might even look a little bit similar, and then just some things tweaked, and maybe that had to do with, they even say eating cooked or processed foods over time. They show pictures of like different people, tribes or whatever. It's like, look at how great they look here, and then only with a few years of eating this bad food, you can see like changes in their teeth, changes in their skin, changes in like all of these different things that's actually making things worse over time. So it'll be, again, interesting to see what happens in the future when we're being more, I don't know if someone's going in here, where we're being more, thoughtful about what we're putting into our bodies, and reversing those things, right? Because your DNA is self-healing. So even though you're really diseased right now, your body's still like, right at this very second, like let's say you cut yourself, your body goes immediately to work to try to heal that, right? Your cells are right at this moment trying to heal. And then when we put stuff in, then it's like, oh, now they got to take a step back and like defend and process what's coming in, and they never get the chance to take care of what was already there to begin with. So I said all that long stuff to say, we can, come back from those generational abuses of the processed food and all this kind of stuff, and it'll be really great to see what kind of babies that we have in the future. Because, yeah. Do we choose turmoil so that our soul can rise higher? Well, I also believe that just choosing the white hat is, well, technically choosing either hat is going to have its ups and downs. But the white hats are, in a way, like we're siding with the creator. We're saying that we agree with the white path, and essentially, his overall design. So we're kind of like, we're signing up knowing that we're going to be against our foes, right? And they run the world. They have all this power, wealth, money, whatever. So yeah, I think that we do sign up for turmoil to some extent, for sure. And it does, with the intent of trying to be better in the end. Sometimes that backfires, and it can lead to people feeling jaded and, disillusioned and stuff with the whole process. But if you do take a step, I don't know, the whole idea of a redemption story and this fall from grace and then coming back up to be something even greater than before. Like, think of the Garden of Eden and Adam and Eve frolicking around, whether you believe it in or not. The idea of them doing that, and then coming out of that state to where we are now, and then thinking of where we can go in the future, where Adam and Eve frolicking in the garden, cool. But now we're going above and beyond that. We're building on that and making it even better, where we have technology and all these tools to help us so that we can focus on better things and do greater things. So, yeah, I'm getting excited about that. Stoic says, is choosing a good life the best thing? I'm not really sure that anybody fully has a good life, because even the people, like I had a very good upbringing. I don't have any, like, there's no abuse or anything in my past. But even as good as I see the past, I was raised by non-vegans. I was raised in the Christian cult where it's like, plead the blood of Jesus. And so there was definitely, things that weren't that good. So I don't think that anybody technically has a good life without its ups and downs. I think that's kind of part of this reality too, is the ups and downs of it. If you just want to have an existence where nothing ever goes wrong and you can just, float along and have all your God powers and everything, the cosmic ocean is probably the place for you rather than being here. Because in here, we're very limited by so many different factors. Our needing sleep, needing to eat, like debatable. But I do think that God made us to eat and sleep. Yeah, there's different limiting factors, I guess, is what I was going to try to say. But people will say, oh, you don't have to eat, you don't have to sleep. Well, let's see how long you can go with that and survive. They say Christ went for 40 days, which is a really impressive feat. But I also wonder, like, I don't know. There's definitely a trade-off with the physical pleasures and sensations to, like, that spiritual enlightenment and the pride, like you feel powerful, you feel good about yourself. So there's a trade-off, but I wonder if he was really enjoying life during those 40 days, or if he was like maybe counting down the minutes to where he could have a fruit feast and enjoy the delicious things that God intended for us to eat again. Yeah. Okay. David D says robots can easily do everything. Yes. Humans are super intelligent. We got that thing that can only be given and not made up. I think that humans in our prime would be considered super intelligent, but most humans are not by design, right? David says the elite want paradise for themselves, and the rest of us need to be depopulated. Exactly, drain the swamp, right? And just kind of really ironic to see all these humans cheering for their own depopulation. And then the next thing that came out was the jab, right? It's like, wow, you guys really I don't know, the piece is just really obvious. So Stoic says, yeah, leave AI for the labor and leave the creative side to the humans. We do it better. Exactly. And like I was saying before, AI doesn't have its own soul. There is a connection between the soul of the creator in the AI, and a responsibility in that as well. When you create AI, you are responsible for what it does. And if that AI goes and turns against humanity and kills a bunch of innocent babies, you did that, right? You put those things in motion. So there is some karmic retribution for that. David says terraforming and climate engineering can make paradise anywhere. Yeah, I would love to have some beachfront property here on Mount Shasta with the sun shining all the time. We can have really amazing exotic fruits. It's just like the perfect temperature. We can create Eden, you know? But again, like, what would it actually be like without their manipulation? Because it might already be that, you know? Hey, Ben, how's it going? Ben said, happy Valentine, Queen. Aw, thanks. I appreciate that. Stoic says, does a soul stay poor and dies a soul stay rich, per se? Does a soul stay poor and dies does a soul stay poor and dies okay, I think I understand what you're saying. I'm not convinced. Like, let's say that you're a homeless person in this cycle. Does that mean that you're going to be a homeless person in the next one? I don't think that that's necessarily the case, but there are definitely patterns and stuff that we can get into as souls to where we're doing like the same things, which can be destructive or positive. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. Even in this lifetime, you can kind of notice those kinds of patterns within yourself. Yeah. David says, what kind of things are you excited to do in the golden age? Make babies. That's about it. The most exciting. And saving cows. It would be really fun to have a sanctuary and like be able to like lay around with like cows and lions and stuff and love on them. So babies. Stoic said, nicely said, Queen. Oh, thanks. David says fasting is a struggle for sure. I agree. I have been really bad at fasting since this summer, pretty much. I felt really good that time that I did the month of raw, and I need to get back to that because I just felt really good and proud of myself and all of that. But I have a food addiction. I just love eating vegan food. I'm preparing for this event tomorrow, and I have all sorts of like vegan ice cream, vanilla, cookies and cream, and mint something, chocolate. There's like a sorbet. There's other flavors. I got two raw ice creams coming. I got avocado chocolate, caramel sauce, chocolate covered pretzels and cookies, and like I don't know. I'm super stoked about it, and I have a food addiction, but you know, I need to get back to fasting and fruit for sure, because I know that's ultimately what's going to make me the happiest in the long run, even though it's going to cause suffering in the short term. David D says making babies, saving cows and lions. Got it. Yeah, I'm not that complicated of a girl, you know. I'm trying to get to a raw vegan diet, but it's so tough. Yeah, I even have some books at home that are just like talking about the addictive nature, like, you know, overcoming food addiction and when food is, you know, whatever. So I'll have to get into those and maybe read some stuff to you guys and share with that, because I want to be inspiring and I want to help purify people and show them, you know, why they should be vegan in other ways just because for the animals. But my focus has been largely on the animals. So I admittedly am a junk food vegan. I should work out a lot more than I do. I wouldn't say that I'm a prime example of like perfect human health, because that's not what I've been focusing on. I've really been focusing on the animals, and it's, I need to step it up on the other side because I'm important too. And our bodies and our souls are connected. So when our bodies are really corrupt in really low frequency and bogged down by all of this stuff, like that brings your soul down too. So it also makes your soul feel depressed and, you know, all these other things. So uplifting one will uplift the other. Whatever way you go with one, they'll follow because they're connected. So David D asked me how often I work out. Dude, are you serious? You don't ask a lady that. Sorry. I don't work out very often. I don't have an answer for that because I don't work out consistently, and that's a problem. So, wow. Food addiction is probably my strongest addiction. Hard to quit. Yeah. Yep. Me too. Purifying the body will purify the soul. Exactly. And on that note, just like with the cloning and stuff like that, even they're talking about making cloned meat and stuff in the factories. Your DNA and your soul are like connected at a fundamental level. So if I take a piece of my DNA and my flesh and it goes like, they even talk about leaving like light DNA in places just because you've been there and like, just whatever. But if I was to try to clone myself and take a piece of, my skin and clone it, my soul, part of my soul is going with that piece. So my soul is going to be in that body. Um, uh, Paternal twins, is that the ones that are the same? Identical twins are nature's clones. They have the same DNA. And then many have talked about how, I could just sense my twin or feel the pain that they were doing, because there's a deeper connection than just the physical. So I said all that because they're talking about, cloned meat and stuff. And technically it's not vegan because they're taking part of that animal and they're essentially keeping that animal in this imprisoned state, where that soul is like just being tortured over and over and over again. So in some ways, it's actually worse than just the soul being born and then dying. Like the suffering at least ended. But yeah, there's a twisted permanency of the punishment for that soul when it's the one that's being cloned and used in that manner. So I don't know why anyone would want to use that in the first place when you can literally go and find like potatoes, carrots, jackfruit, tofu, seitan, tempeh. There's literally so many different substances that you can turn into a vegan meat that are way healthier, way more creative. They're just so much better all around for us. So it makes no sense why anyone would want to eat that to begin with. And that kind of also leads me into saying that in the golden age, you can have your bacon and eat it too, but that bacon is not going to be coming from little piggy Magoo. Um, there are ways there's a lot of options already of vegan things that taste exactly the same as the things that you like now. I'm not sure how close they are with bacon because I think bacon is disgusting and repulsive and I never liked it to begin with. So I don't eat bacon. But especially when we have AI and stuff, there's ways that they can make those plants taste exactly with the right seasonings and spices to where you wouldn't even know the difference. So that's the way of the future. You're not giving anything up. Like even now, there's so many vegan alternatives. If you want steak and potatoes, go to Walmart in the freezer section, Morningstar, green bag, steak tips, grab your A1, grab your potatoes, grab your vegan butter, go home, have a party, right? It's so easy. There's really no excuse. So, yeah. Anyways, Theody says clone meat is still meat. There's still a soul, still a victim. Exactly. Tell us more about how the golden age is different. How will we earn money if robots are doing everything? Well, that's a good question. Well, like I was saying earlier, there will be opportunities like if for the Queen's Kitchen, at least. It would be great to have people that want to come in and take a shift and they can work. But essentially, you don't need to work because like the mother provides things for free. So there's no need for us to be going and earning money and all of this stuff. And again, it's like whoever's in charge of the resources can make it that happen. But the people that are in charge right now don't want that to happen. They want us to struggle. They want it to be unbalanced system where they're the dragons that are laying on their pile of gold while you're over here, shivering in the cold. So yeah. That being said, also too, you can have your own business. It's not like you can't have these capitalistic adventures or ventures, I guess is what I meant to say. using art and all these other stuff, there's going to be cash flow and bartering and other, you can still function in general. But it's not going to be like what it is today, because there's not going to be this need. We're not going to be in survival mode. There's going to be enough for everybody. So that'll be really exciting. And hopefully humanity will come out better for it, instead of getting really ingrateful and becoming like really mean towards the robots who are giving them everything and all that. So David says it's kind of annoying they named Satan. Yeah, and there's a lot of corruption in the vegan community of, what is that? Slutty vegan. I can't even think of the other ones that there's like a lot of like, there are restaurants that are like, I can't think of, I don't know. Just some of the restaurants are like demonically inspired and focused on that. So I can't think of what they're called. But anyways, obviously when there's a promotion or purification area, there's going to be those that come and try to seek to corrupt it, even with the Christ, and how, if you look into the Essene teachings, he's all about, eating fruit and purifying and doing God's way. And then in the Essene Gospel of Peace, book 1, supposedly Christ tells you to go and find a gourd that's very large and put it up your bum. Like, they've taken something that's like the most purifying teachings that you can find and putting something that corrupting in it. And that's what they do. So yeah, it really is so easy to go vegan. I agree. David says prosperity is the key. Everyone will sign on when they get prosperity. Yeah, and that's hopefully the case. But I've interacted with a lot of people that'll be like, nope, bacon. And I don't know, I guess they're going to just die off or eventually change. So we don't have to worry about them. Kyle says, finally got home. Got to shovel this ridiculous snow soon, just for it to snow more tonight. Aw, sorry to hear that. How's the weather there? Is it pretty bad? Thankfully, it's nice around here today and not snowing, but it did snow yesterday, and things are kind of like a slushy, icy mix. And the front of the property here has like this giant snow mound, like that's blocking the whole parking space here. So we'll see how like karaoke goes tonight and the event tomorrow. Fingers crossed that more of the snow melts and gets out of the way, I guess. So David D says, is alcohol allowed during the golden age? What about other drugs? What is allowed? Well, I personally like to drink champagne. Champagne and beer, I've already kind of mentioned before, are, the more pure forms of alcohol. But like liquor, when people start drinking liquor, then it usually doesn't go very well. So I would personally say that like hard liquor and hard drugs are not allowed. But the earth has provided us, God and nature have provided us with other medicines. And I think those should be used responsibly by adults and how they want to. A lot of the drug problem, I shouldn't say drug problem because it is a problem, right? There's people overdosing and stuff. But it's obviously being fueled by the powers that be. A lot of people, it's common knowledge about like the CIA and LSD and even meth, and like how the government is basically injecting these drugs into the population. And then you either are a top dog that works with them, or you're a low person that gets locked up for selling marijuana, right? There's a control system in their system as well of drugs and stuff like that. So anyways, David says, I need to make everyone. Dave says, Mark of the Bistro is a fully vegan restaurant in Salt Lake City. Amazing food, but that name. Yeah, Mark of the Bistro. Yeah, just places like that are probably really great food, and then they have to just do that. And I guess kind of being in Utah, that would make sense why some people there might want to go, we're rebels. Like, we don't even worship Satan, but we're just trying to get a rise out of the community or whatever, right? If you're like in one of these religious, primary religious areas or whatever. I understand how, like, someone that I used to work with, he would come into work with like this 666, and then on the back it had like an upside down pentagram that said like unholy one or something, and I'm just like, why do you present yourself as that, right? And his his thing was mainly like kind of a rebellion against the Catholic Church, and like, I don't even believe Satan's real, I'm just doing this whatever, right? So there are a lot of people that have that rebellious nature and they find themselves in that path, but yeah. um the spiritual ignorance is kind of where that, comes from. Hey, Kyle says, I can't wait to make a smoothie bowl. Yeah, what are you gonna put in that smoothie bowl? David, he says, great to see your Amon, David. Taylor. Thanks, happy to help out. Thanks to all the David moderators. If your name is David and you want to be a moderator, Kyle, you got to change your name to David if you want to stay. Just kidding. Just kidding. Kyle says it's cold and about 3 to 4 inches of snow. Oh, man. Well, hopefully the shoveling goes well. You need to get a plow. I was just looking at that. Like, I should get a plow and start my own little business around here. And, it'd be pretty good probably around Mount Shasta, because even if you look up on Facebook, like Mount Shasta plow and stuff like that, nothing comes up. So I've been trying to find someone to do this property. So we'll see how that goes. All right. I think I'm going to probably get off of here soon. We'll see. But David D says a lot of 666 rebels don't even know Satan is real. Exactly. Or yeah, they don't believe he's real, and it's a rebellious response to the church, right? And even with atheism, you kind of see a lot of that, like their God doesn't exist, and a lot of it is like they point at the Bible and they're like, they point at the Bible as their evidence that God doesn't exist, while not believing that the Bible was like written by God. So it doesn't actually make sense, right? If someone else wrote a book about me and like talks all that trash, and then you decide not to like me based on someone's lies, like that doesn't make any sense. But I get the programming. So there's a lot of agendas out there and stuff to try to demonize our creator, and not only the creator but the mother as well. And the mainstream religions that are very patriarchy, unbalanced, even them, they say very evil things about the creator, and not all of them, obviously, but he's painted in a bad light in some of them, and even more so the mother. So, yeah. My stance on it, I've been through, when I first awakened, I was a Torah follower, and I started questioning mainstream religion. I came across the Gnostics. They demonize God. They call him like an abortion and all this stuff. So I went through that. I was in that stage, and that was a very, I wasn't happy at that point in time. And I think thinking that the creator was evil was part of that. And just the mindset that comes along with that, thinking that you're like trapped in this whatever, this, perfect paradise set up by an evil being to keep you trapped so that they can steal your loot and all this stuff. I personally believe that our creator is good, that he created this amazing Garden of Eden for us to live in. He gave us these amazing self-healing bodies that we can live for like hundreds of years in vibrant youth. And just his creation, judging based off of that, I stand in firmness saying that he is good and wants what's best for us. And all of the things that are wrong in the world have been from us deviating from his plan. So, yeah. David D says, what about entertainment during the golden age? What will there be to do? Well, the first things that come to my mind are music and roller coasters. So like having venues that basically your band could go play, like concert venues that just have music going all the time, and different bands, your band could go, whatever. But also, yeah, like I was saying, roller coasters. But that's just my form of entertainment. Obviously, other people want theirs. There should still be theater and movies and all of these things, but with real humans acting. And yeah, there's a lot of things that people are already doing and enjoying in this lifetime that we can take into the golden age and make even better, making better opportunities for them, making it easier to do the things that they love to do and all that kind of stuff. So, whatever. If you like to skydive, let's have some really awesome skydiving like opportunities for people. If you like to just whatever, you know what I mean? Within reason, obviously. If it's corrupting or like hurting another soul, or especially the innocent, then we have to draw some lines. But otherwise, this world has such amazing adventures and joys that we can live and explore even more freely during the golden age. So that'll be exciting. A lot of agendas to demonize God and the mother. A lot of Gnostics demonize God for sure. Say this is a hell world, a prison for demons to torture and feed on us. And I understand also how they can see that being the case, because look at the world that we're in, but also look at what we as humans have been doing for thousands of years to get to this place. So we really only have ourselves to blame, and thankfully we got the time and the way to get out of it now. So Kyle says base smoothie, dragon fruit, pineapple, mango, berry, cherry. Yum. Oh, that reminded me of the dragonberry bowl from Northwest Pineapple in Medford. Remember when we got that? Yeah. The last time that Kyle was in town, we went to Medford for his birthday, and this place has really awesome smoothie bowls. So anyways, I think I'm going to get off of here because I do have some stuff to do before karaoke tonight. I appreciate all of the time that you guys have been here to spend with me and all the chats and everything like that. So, yeah. Dee says, what's your plans? Well, my plans for today are just to go and get some stuff ready for karaoke. And I have some more. I'm supposed to get a table and chair delivery today at some point as well. So I'm not sure when that's going to happen. But yeah, I got the party tomorrow, and I'll see if I do like a little video or something, walk through the room to show you my decorations and stuff like that. So if I don't see and talk to you before Sunday, I hope to catch you at noon, same time, same place. May God and God bless you.